Nestled beneath the towering presence of Mount Fuji lies Aokigahara Forest, a dense and sprawling woodland unlike any other. Known to many as the Sea of Trees, this seemingly endless thicket of twisted roots and deep shadows has long been a place wrapped in mystery and legend. Most recognize Aokigahara for a deeply tragic reason: its association with suicide. But beyond this sorrowful reputation, local folklore paints a far more enigmatic picture, steeped in ancient beliefs about curses, restless spirits, and travelers who have vanished without a trace. To truly understand Aokigahara, we must look beyond the headlines and explore the mysterious stories that have been whispered through generations. The forest stretches at the base of Mount Fuji, one of Japan's most iconic and sacred mountains. This proximity to such a spiritual landmark has infused Aokigahara with a unique energy, a natural and otherworldly aura that locals have felt for centuries. Legend has it that the forest itself is alive, not just with wildlife, but with spirits and forces that refuse to be tamed or understood. The dense canopy blocks much of the sunlight, casting eerie shadows and creating an almost unnatural stillness that can disorient even the most seasoned traveler. This sense of isolation feeds into the forest's haunting reputation. Ancient folklore tells stories of curses laid upon the forest, curses born from centuries of human suffering and the powerful belief in Yurei, restless spirits caught between worlds. Some legends suggest that those who met their end in the forest, whether by choice or misfortune, have never truly left. Instead, their spirits are said to wander endlessly, trapped in the tangled undergrowth or hiding behind the thick trunks of trees, watching silently for the unwary. These tales are not recent inventions. They are woven into the culture of the region, passed down as warnings and as somber reminders of the boundary between life and death. Among the most enduring stories are those of lost travelers who entered Aokigahara seeking adventure or solace, only to disappear without explanation. Unlike ordinary forests, where paths are clear and ways out numerous, the labyrinthine structure of Aokigahara's terrain is said to confuse and mislead visitors. Rumors tell of people becoming hopelessly lost, wandering for days while the spirits silently observe. Some believe that the forest's cursed nature is so potent it can bend time and space, trapping souls and mingling the living with the supernatural. Whether truth or mere myth, these stories have left a deep impression on the collective imagination surrounding Aokigahara. Beyond the haunting tales, there is also a belief tied to the ancient volcanic soil and the natural geography of the forest. Some locals hold that the land itself breathes a kind of spiritual energy, one that can either protect or doom those within its reach. This dual nature, both life-giving and life-taking, is echoed in the stories that speak of curses passed down through generations, curses linked to forgotten rituals and the anger of nature itself. Despite the forest's beauty, its enigmatic nature has always commanded a certain respect and cautious distance. Throughout history, Aokigahara has been more than just a physical forest. It has been a canvas for stories that blur the line between reality and legend. Among the earliest written references to the forest's eerie atmosphere can be found in Japanese literature dating back centuries, where the dense woodland was called a place of ominous energy and mystery. Local villagers often spoke in hushed tones about the forest's unusual silence, an absence of birdsong and wildlife noises often described in these accounts. This unnatural stillness, rather than being merely a natural phenomenon, was commonly interpreted as the presence of restless spirits, or yurei, lingering among the trees. Many of these tales arise from the cultural context surrounding death and the supernatural in Japan. Traditionally, forests were seen as thresholds between the living world and the spirit realm. Aokigahara's proximity to Mount Fuji, a site sacred to Shinto and Buddhist beliefs, further deepened its mystical character. In the Edo period, travelers and locals spoke of strange happenings in the forest, whispers on the wind, shadows shifting at the edge of vision, and sudden chills that had no source. While modern science points to natural causes, such as the forest's unique geology and dense foliage affecting sound travel, these stories were preserved as part of an oral tradition that fed the forest's ominous reputation. Beyond spiritual presences, countless rumors have circulated about individuals who set out into Aokigahara and were never seen again. These stories, entrenched in local folklore, often describe people becoming hopelessly lost, drew into a labyrinth of trees so dense and confusing that the forest seemed to rearrange itself. Some versions assert that the forest plays tricks on the mind, bending perceptions so travelers lose all sense of direction. Others speak of inexplicable disorientation or sudden mists that appear to trap wanderers. Though no official records confirm supernatural intervention, these unresolved stories continue to inspire unease and fascination. Among the more chilling local legends are accounts of encounters with apparitions or shadowy figures. Witnesses have claimed to see fleeting glimpses of pale faces amongst the branches, hear footsteps following close behind on empty paths, or feel unseen presences brushing past. In some tales, these are the spirits of past victims, doomed to relive their final moments. In others, they are guardian entities warning trespassers of danger. Yet, these experiences remain anecdotal, passed from person to person, falling into the realm of folklore rather than verifiable phenomena. Additionally, some folklore suggests that ancient curses hang over Aokigahara, tied to historic acts of violence or spiritual unrest. One such story involves plague victims, once hidden within the forest, whose angry spirits were said to have cursed the land. These curses supposedly manifest as sudden misfortunes or disappearances when outsiders ignore warnings. While no concrete evidence supports these claims, the persistence of such legends reveals how deeply the forest's dark mystery is embedded in local culture. In summary, the eerie atmosphere that pervades Aokigahara is not simply a result of its physical characteristics, but also a product of centuries of stories, fears, and beliefs. The folklore surrounding Aokigahara plays a significant role in shaping how both locals and outsiders perceive the forest. These stories, deeply rooted in centuries of oral tradition and cultural belief, cast the forest not simply as a geographical location, but as a realm imbued with mystery and spiritual significance. The tales of curses, restless spirits, and lost travelers have created an aura that deters casual visitation and fosters a sense of reverence, sometimes fear, toward the forest. They remind us that Aokigahara is more than just a site associated with sorrow. It is a place that challenges human understanding and invites contemplation of the unknown. In Japanese culture, the coexistence of nature, spirituality, and the afterlife often blurs boundaries in ways unfamiliar to Western perspectives. Aokigahara, nestled at the foot of Mount Fuji, exemplifies this blending, a place where life and death, the physical and the supernatural, appear intertwined. The forest's enigmatic reputation serves as a cultural mirror, reflecting deep-rooted attitudes toward death, the spirit world, and respect for the forces beyond human control. Despite advances in science and technology, few have fully unraveled the mysteries of Aokigahara's dense thickets and eerie silence. This unresolved quality enhances the forest's mythos, leaving room for imagination and speculation to fill the gaps that facts cannot explain. Local legends, while unproven, act as a narrative framework helping communities make sense of the forest's darker aspects, offering both warnings and a way to honor those connected to the land, be they living or lost in spirit. The ongoing presence of these stories suggests that Aokigahara continues to function as a liminal space, a threshold between realities that humans do not completely perceive but instinctively respect. This perception cultivates a complex cultural relationship with the forest, one that mixes caution with curiosity. Visitors and observers are drawn simultaneously by a desire to understand and an instinct to keep distance. This duality reflects a broader human response to places that challenge our sense of safety and knowledge. The unknown evokes both fear and fascination. Moreover, contemporary engagement with Aokigahara's legends often influences media and popular culture, spreading the forest's eerie reputation far beyond its physical boundaries. Stories told in movies, books, and documentaries shape a global image of the forest that both benefits from and reinforces its enigmatic legacy. This creates a feedback loop where folklore informs perception, and perception encourages the preservation of folklore, maintaining the forest status as an almost mythical space. Importantly, approaching Aokigahara through the lens of these unresolved tales invites us to acknowledge the limits of human understanding. The forest's mysteries resist neat explanations, and in that resistance lies a profound respect for the complexities of nature and the spiritual world. The myths and legends surrounding Aokigahara serve not only as entertainment or cautionary tales, but as a reminder that some places retain secrets that may never be fully uncovered. In the end, the forest challenges us to balance acknowledgement of its dark associations with an openness to the unseen and unexplained.